What's going on, you guys? So I posted some YouTube shorts as of late in regards to the Brian Norman Jr. Devin Haney fight, right? And if you guys follow this channel, you know I'm picking Brian Norman Jr. to win this fight and possibly stop him. You know, I think that's probably the more likely scenario on how Brian Norman Jr. wins this fight. But in this YouTube shorts that I posted as of late, you know, to explain my reasoning as to why I think Brian Norman Jr. is able to stop a Devin Haney, right? I've used some clips from the Ryan Garcia Devin Haney fight, and fans do not like it, especially Devin Haney fanboys. They hate it. And let's not get it twisted. I 100% am not denying that Ryan Garcia was juiced up in that fight. I think he clearly cheated. He tested positive, right? I'm not making any excuses for Ryan. I haven't in the past. I think he's a drug cheat. He clearly looked different when he fought Rolly Romero, right? But that pisses off a lot of Devin Haney fans that I use those clips because, like I said, he got cheated. And they think that I'm like saying that he didn't cheat or something. I don't understand why they're so upset in the comments. But regardless, man, whether Ryan Garcia cheated or not, there were things in that fight that I believe Brian Norman Jr. can capitalize on, right? And one of the main reasons I feel like it's acceptable to use those clips, you know, to explain my reasoning is because if you look at Devin Haney's career, and I said this in a video I posted in the past, and then recently Brian Norman Jr. actually said the same exact thing, and that was this. On Devin Haney's resume, right, if you look at it, what guy on there happened to be close to the same exact age as him, the same exact size as him, has punching power and speed? The only guy thus far, up until he fights Brian Norman Jr., is Ryan Garcia, right? That is the only guy. And the reason I feel like, that's one of the reasons I feel like I can use that fight for this Brian Norman Jr. fight, is because Brian Norman Jr. also is the same exact size, same exact reach, and has punching power and hand speed, right? As Devin Haney. So logically that makes sense to me, right? And then the other end of it, Ryan Garcia had a tremendous left hand, right? And clearly he was landing it almost at will during that fight with Devin Haney. So when I look at that, you know, on how he was using that left hand throughout the fight, Brian Norman Jr. happens to have a great left hand. And I think he may even have a better left hand than Ryan Garcia. If you look at any of the highlights that I put out there of Brian Norman Jr., he's able to throw his left hand in different ways, whether it be a check hook, whether he counters with it, right? Throws a lunging left hook. You know, the trajectory on his shot, when he throws it, he can throw it from pretty much any angle, right? And he has a good jab. He finishes combinations with a power jab typically, something that Ryan Garcia really didn't do, but I think it just adds more layers to Brian Norman Jr.'s left hand, right? And let's not get it twisted. Brian Norman Jr. isn't handicapped by just his left hand. If you take his left hand away, he still has good punch selection in either one of his hands, right? He has power in both of his hands. So I don't think, in my opinion, even a roided out Ryan isn't as good as a Brian Norman Jr., right? But fans still don't put the pieces together, and they're getting upset when they look at my videos, and I actually kind of love it. But I think everybody's going to be in for a big surprise come November 22nd, this Saturday, when Brian Norman Jr. stops Devin Haney. That's my prediction. I just don't understand, like I said, why these guys just can't see, hey, well, Ryan Garcia had a good left hand, happened to be the same exact size as Devin Haney, but he's a dude who possessed punching power and speed. What guy on Devin Haney's resume possessed all those things other than Ryan Garcia? Regis Prograis had slow feet, slow hands, and was pretty much at the tail end of his career. I think right now he should retire pretty much. He went to war with Jojo Diaz, right? Another dude who Devin Haney fought, who was probably closer. He was probably like 29, 30 years old when he fought him, but he's undersized. And it's not like Jojo Diaz was really punching hard, you know, not to the level of a Brian Norman Jr. or Ryan Garcia, right? Jorge Linares, same thing, older. Gamboa, same thing, smaller, older, right? His best days were at like 126, 130, you know, maybe 135 if he didn't get his career ruined by Crawford. Who else? Lomachenko, like I said, smaller, older, really has never been that big of a puncher. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it makes logical sense as to why I would use that fight to plead my case for why Brian Norman Jr. wins the fight. But Devin Haney fanboys are just idiots. I'm honestly sick of Devin Haney, been sick of him. I think he's just overrated. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's accomplished great things. But to the level of what fans put him at, I just think he's not that. But if he wins and he beats Brian Norman Jr., that is an amazing win, and he's got full respect. I just don't see it happening. I got Brian Norman Jr. I'm not changing my prediction, but let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think it's fair to use, you know, Ryan Garcia's performance against Devin Haney, you know, as to why Brian Norman Jr. may win the fight? Like, does that make sense to you guys? Let me know. Hate, like, comment, subscribe.